NXT Battleground. 6 matches this Sunday, May 25th. That sounded weird what I just said, but yeah. Okay, right, we're going to talk about them, give my predictions, see who thinks going to win, see who thinks going to lose. That makes sense because if you know the winner, you probably know the loser. Right, I'm going to give some bold predictions in there as well. Let's make this a bit more interesting, a bit more exciting. You probably already left, but it's okay. Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs taking on The Culling, which is Sean Spears, Nico Vance, and Brooks Jensen with Izzy Dame. Because of the tag team champions, you think they're going to win. Yay, great, fantastic. But the title's on the line. So, if you want to make a faction mean something, have some wins under you. And I like that Nico Vance. He's in it. So, for that reason, I'm going to go for The Culling. And I'm going to say we're probably going to have Nico Vance pinning Tank. That'll make him have a tag team title match. So, yeah. So, let's go for who's going to pin and who's going to win. Okay, I don't know how long the match is going to go on for. I'm not going to go into that much detail because I'm not going to check if I'm right or wrong. But, yeah. So, The Culling are going to win. And you're going to have Nico Vance pinning Tank, I think I said. I might have changed it. Well, I've said it right once, maybe, if that happens. Yeah. I don't know the order of these matches either. I'm just saying what I think they're going to basically be. But, yeah, there we go. First match, first prediction. Then we have a singles match for the Women's North American Championship of Sol Ruka versus Kalani Jordan. I believe Kalani Jordan defeated Zarya. That's how she ended up winning the #1 contenders match. So, right. Sol Ruka's not actually held this for that long. I think she had one title defence after winning the 6-pack women's title, obviously from the vacated North American Women's Championship. I know Kalani Jordan was the very first one, and it would be great, but I do think it makes more sense for Sol Ruka to defeat Kalani Jordan and get some wins under her belt with the title to make it a bit more prestigious. If she just loses back to Kalani, it's like, yeah, where's it go back from here? I mean, it doesn't really make much more sense. I do think we're going to have Sol Ruka retaining her Women's North American Championship in this match, obviously. But I do think it's going to be a fantastic match, though, and the Sol match is going to be fantastic. I do like Kalani Jordan, but I like Sol Ruka just a little bit more, so that makes no difference in my predictions. But there you go. Tony D'Angelo, the Don, taking on the underboss. But is he still the underboss? Stacks. Channing Lorenzo. So you've got Stacks turning on the family, turning on Tony D'Angelo. Okay, to me, it makes more sense that Tony goes up to the main roster now, because I don't see much more he can basically do down here. That's just my opinion. I don't care how long he's been there for. Right, but can that character work up there? That's not what we're talking about, so just forget that. No, but having Stacks turn on the Don and then like realising he's lost and he's no good without him, he needs him, then what do you do? Just put him back with the Don? It's no. Okay, Stacks needs to win this one to make it make sense. Right, okay, Tony D'Angelo can afford to lose to Stacks, have Stacks defeat him, okay, right, and have Stacks go off on his own, okay, maybe it's like a North American title run or something along those lines. Give his heel turn a meaning. Don't just have it where he's like feuding back and forth for Tony D'Angelo. Okay, Tony can afford to lose and go off and do something different. Same as Stacks, but if Stacks loses, I think it basically ruins his momentum, ruins his push, ruins like basically everything. I'd lose interest in thinking, okay, you've turned heel, you've kicked someone in the dingaling. What's it done for you? Nothing, mate. So to me, I think Stacks is going to win this one, and I want Stacks to win this one. Then, for the first time ever, we have the TNA World Championship. Try and, like, believe me if I said this like 5 years ago. Okay, of Joe Hendry taking on Trick Williams. Joe Hendry wanted to talk to Obafemi, not sure why, but yeah. Trick Williams wasn't happy about it. Them two obviously been jumping each other and attacking each other. But if you watch my video on TNA's Under Siege, I basically thought that the tag team of Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian will defeat Joe Hendry and Elijah, because I don't see Joe Hendry losing his title here. But I said if Joe Hendry and Elijah win, Trick Williams would win that. Now, seeing Trick win, okay, a TNA World title in or on a WWE PLA would be fantastic. The first time ever. And I'll be interested in seeing what they're going to do from here. But I don't see it happening. If I was a betting man, I'd have to go for Joe Hendry. Like, I want Trick to win, not because I don't like Joe Hendry, just because I want to see what storyline they could do, where it would go from here, what would happen. But I'm going to have to go for Joe Hendry retaining his TNA World title against Trick Williams. Then we go on to the NXT Women's Championship. Jordynne Grace, who I believe won a #1 contenders match against Julia, because she's now on the main roster, Julia is, okay, versus Stephanie Vaquer. As much as I love Jordynne Grace, I think she's a fantastic wrestler, I don't see Stephanie Vaquer losing this soon. I do think that Jordynne Grace will be an NXT Women's Champion one day, but this just doesn't feel like the right moment here. Okay. Stephanie Vaquer, unless... Okay, my prediction is, which is a bold prediction, right, I'm going to say that if Jordynne Grace wins, Stephanie Vaquer will be on the main roster before SummerSlam. Okay. But I do think I'm going to have to go for... That's the thing though, because we've had no title changes yet, but it's very rare you actually get title changes. She's held it for a little bit. Julie didn't hold it for that long, really. So, you know what? Okay, stupid of me. Okay, I do actually think it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer, but my prediction is Jordynne Grace. It's stupid, I know, but let's just go for it, because I think Stephanie Vaquer will soon be on the main roster. Then we have, I assume, it will be the main event. Okay, it's Obafemi versus Miles Bourne from the No Quarter Catch crew, I believe he is. I don't really know a lot about Miles Bourne, but him winning the 25-man Battle Royal with obviously NXT, TNA, LFG, Evolve, everything. Okay, all right, fantastic. I thought, okay, great. Well, I wonder what they're doing here. I wouldn't have picked him. I mean, whoever would have picked him, okay, probably would have been a millionaire by now if they're a betting man. But him going against Ethan Page, I believe, the week later or 2 weeks later, I thought, yeah, great. Was it a mistake? Was he not meant to win? Then he goes and defeats Ethan Page. But Oba's going to win. Okay, this is just another battle for Oba, basically, to just... I'm not going to say overcome, because he doesn't overcome them. Another tick off his tick sheet, I guess. You're probably going to have a moment where you're thinking, oh my God, Miles Bourne, he's going to win. 1, 2. Oh, we're all fooled. No. Okay. The ruler is going to retain his NXT Championship. Right, Miles Bourne will put up a great fight. Fantastic. Maybe No Court Catch crew will get involved. But bold prediction. So I'm going to predict that Charlie Dempsey from the No Court Catch crew is going to try and help Miles Bourne. I think it's going to go against him. And he's going to be like, I don't want your help. I can do this on my own. And then that's when Oba's going to win. Not that Oba needs it, but just... I need a bold prediction, so why not? So those are all my predictions. Let's have a quick run through of who I think is going to win. I might have made a mistake in what I'm saying. So I think that the Culling are going to defeat Josh Briggs and Hank and Tank. That sounds weird. And. Sol Ruka is going to defeat Kalani Jordan and retain her NXT North American Women's Championship. I believe I said that in the correct order. Channing Stacks Lorenzo is going to defeat Tony D'Angelo. Joe Hendry is going to retain his TNA World title against Trick Williams. Jordynne Grace is going to defeat Stephanie Vaquer and become your new women's NXT champion. That one I wish, like, if I was a better man, I could, like, have a flip round. But yeah, a bold prediction. And we're going to have Obafemi retaining his world championship, his NXT world championship, against Miles Bourne. Those are my predictions. Let me know your predictions. Tell me if you think I'm wrong, why you think I'm wrong. Okay, fantastic. Right, brilliant. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.